The Chicago Bears just decided what they're doing with the number 1 overall pick in this year's NFL draft. Hi, everyone. I'm Andy here with Chicago Bears React, here to bring you all of your Chicago Bears news, both during the season and after in the offseason that, frankly, is kind of becoming our Super Bowl a little bit. Before we dive into today's kind of bittersweet episode, if you wouldn't mind taking a moment, like, subscribe, and support the channel, we'd greatly appreciate it. So the Bears just lost to the Packers. Tell me if you've heard that story. We've heard it a few too many times. It's starting to actually hurt a little bit. And you'll see here, I'm wearing my Justin Fields jersey. I'm not going to say it's the last time I'm going to wear this jersey because I don't mind busting out an old jersey from time to time. But I do believe that today was the last day we're going to see Justin Fields play a football game in the Chicago Bears uniform. And that brings us to the NFL draft. I think the Bears are on the clock. I think the Bears are going to retain that first pick, no matter how many people you can get with it, how many picks you can get with it. And ultimately, I think they're going to move in a different direction. I think going into this game, as much as the Bears fan base really wanted Justin, and it was amazing to hear the crowd chanting, "We want Justin," at last week's Bears game. I don't think going into this game this was a 50-50. If he wins it, they keep him. If he loses it, they don't. I think it was likely he was never coming back to begin with unless he really showed something in this game. And not only did he lose the game, but he really didn't show much. It wasn't a bad game. He didn't necessarily turn the ball over. You see the difference between him and like a quarterback who actually kind of has it. And we've given Justin a really long leash for 3 years, and really apologize for a lot of his shortcomings in the way we have with every other quarterback who's been a Chicago Bear. But ultimately, at this point, you can't watch what Jordan Love just did on the other side of the field against a better defense, mind you. The Bears have been a far superior defense this year to the Green Bay Packers. You can't look at that and tell me that we didn't just watch a quarterback in his first season really handedly beat Justin Fields. And ultimately, that's not good enough. The McCaskies view this game in a way that even us diehard Bears fans never will. They grew up in it, right? In a way that we didn't. They were around it. That the legacy of George Halas is a legacy of Bears Packers. And so you don't get to lose every game of your career against the Packers and have the GM pass up 2 straight first overall picks with quarterbacks to be taken. And so I believe with pretty high conviction, near 100% conviction, that was the end of the Justin Fields era of Chicago. I don't know if it's going to be Caleb Williams. I don't know if it's going to be Drake May. I don't know if it's going to be Jaden Daniels or Michael Penix Jr. or any number of quarterbacks available in the draft. But I know you can't go into the meetings that are going to start tomorrow with Kevin Warren and I would assume eventually with Ryan Poles and pitch to me as a coach that this plan at quarterback is working. And frankly, I don't think Ryan Poles can go into his meeting with Kevin Warren and pitch that this plan at quarterback is working. I think he knows something's going to have to give. So we'll see what happens there. I'm really intrigued to know who that quarterback will end up being, whether it is one of these rookies or maybe they roll the dice on a veteran. I doubt it. I think it's a rookie. I think it's probably Caleb Williams, to be honest. But it'll be an exciting offseason. In the meantime, over the next couple of days, we're going to be keeping a close eye on this head coaching thing because I think going into this game, I think Eberflus was probably safe, and now I'm a little less certain of that. Kevin Warren, despite his complimentary speech that's the wrong word. Despite his compliments of the coaching staff and of the front office, has not assured either Ryan Poles or Matt Eberflus that their job is safe. And I think everything is on the table. I would expect Ryan Poles to be safe. I am less certain about Matt Eberflus. And now that it seems they're going to be looking at a rookie quarterback, it wouldn't surprise me if they go in a different direction at the coach. There are plenty of options you can pair a rookie with that'll put them on the same schedule, on the same timeline, and allow you to have a coach that's actually designing an offense, has an offense designed with the type of quarterback in mind. You can wed that together and I think have a more cohesive offense moving forward. And so whether you're looking at, Lions OC Ben Johnson or, making a run at Jim Harbaugh, trying to lure him out of Ann Arbor, Michigan, or, even a guy that I think is going to be an interesting name this offseason, and Bobby Slowick, the offensive coordinator for the Houston Texans, who came from that, let's be honest, probably the greatest offensive coaching staff in the history of coaching staff somehow, which was it the 2014, I think, Washington Commanders? It might have been before that. But a team that had an offense that churned out Kyle Shanahan, Mike McDaniel, Sean McVay, and the next one on the list seemingly is Bobby Slowick, who's done an incredible job with C.J. Stroud, and I would be very curious to see him paired up with Caleb Williams or Drake May or whoever Ryan Poles and the front office at Halas Hall decides to go with. So ultimately, sad day. It sucks to lose to the Packers. We're going to be, I'm sure, talking about this one at least for a couple of weeks here, but ultimately a lot to be hopeful about. This was a good season. Real progress was made. There's a lot of talent on both sides of the ball, and we couldn't have said that last year. Between the draft capital and all the money that's available in free agency, and the fact that you're not going to be paying a veteran quarterback money, which allows you to maybe spend some money you weren't planning to this offseason even. Bringing in a defensive end, bringing in another wide receiver like T. Higgins. There's options. So we're going to explore all of that this offseason. So again, make sure you are tuned into what we're doing on this channel, because we're going to be checking every single league source we can this offseason, keeping our ear to the ground, trying to decipher what's really going on in Halas Hall. Anyway, thanks so much, everyone, and bear down.